Hello and welcome students. It's Nazia Begum here, your physics lecturer. In today's module, we are going to discuss some phenomena related to motion in a straight line, and then we will start our new chapter, motion in a plane. So here in front of you, you can see one topic is written, that is free fall. So what is a free fall? When any object is falling from a height under only the action of gravitational force and not any other force, so that time this fall is called free fall. Okay, and here in free fall we neglect the resistance because of air and any other type of force or any kind of resistance or friction we simply neglect, and we only consider the gravitational force in effect. So that type of fall is called free fall. In a free fall, when the object is moving towards earth, we consider the acceleration as positive, and when the object is moving away from the earth, that time we consider the acceleration as negative. That means when the object is moving in negative y direction, x, y and z, three axes are there. So when the object is moving in negative y direction, that time acceleration will be positive. When the object is moving in positive y direction, that means it is going up. So that's time we take acceleration as negative. Then one more important thing which we have to discuss in this chapter is distance traveled in nth second. Now what does it indicate, nth second? Suppose an object has traveled a distance in a particular time and we don't consider the whole time but a fraction of time. So that time the distance will be covered, will be in that particular time only. Like suppose an object has moved for 5 seconds, okay, and we don't have to find the distance traveled in the whole 5 seconds, but we want only the distance traveled from 4th second to 5th second. That means only 1 second distance we want to find out. So that time different kind of formula we have to use. I hope you are understanding the situation. Okay, in this situation what is the case? Suppose an object has traveled a distance in 5 seconds, okay, from 0 second to 5 second, but we are not interested in finding out the total distance traveled in the total 5 seconds, but we only want to find out the distance traveled in last 1 second or last 2 second. Okay, so in that type of case we have different formula to find out the distance. So here let us consider an object starts with a velocity v0 and moves with uniform acceleration a along a straight line. Okay, now let Sn and Sn minus 1 be distance traveled in n and n minus 1 second respectively. So here let me tell you what is n and n minus 1. Suppose an object has traveled a distance for n seconds. Okay, so before n second, which second will be there? It will be n minus 1. Suppose an object has traveled a distance of 5 seconds. Before 5 second, what will come? 4 second. 4 second can be written as 5 minus 1. Okay. In similar manner, if any object has traveled for n seconds, so just before n, which second will come? It will be n minus 1 second. So now we are taking that two condition, that last 2 seconds, n and n minus 1 second. Okay, that we are taking now. So the total distance traveled in nth second will be the distance between these two last seconds. That is the distance traveled in nth second, this one, and minus the distance traveled in n minus 1 second. So from the second equation of motion, the distance traveled in n second is this much. Sorry, the distance traveled, for any distance traveled, this is the formula. When we have to find out the distance traveled in n second, in place of t we will put n, When we have to find out the distance traveled in n minus 1 second, in place of t we will put n minus 1. Okay, like this one. So we have two equations for Sn and Sn minus 1. Now when we have to find out the distance traveled in nth second, we will put the value of Sn and Sn minus 1 in this equation. So here we have that. Okay. By putting the value and solving and rearranging it, we get this equation. So let me tell you how we will get this equation. Okay, so first you see here that this is the formula Sn minus Sn minus 1, in which we have to put these two values, Sn's value and Sn minus 1 value. And after solving this one, we will get this equation. This is our final equation. Okay. VO plus half A in bracket 2n minus 1. Now let me explain you how we will get this equation. So here you can see this is the value of Sn and this is the value of Sn minus 1. Okay. So here we have first opened the bracket. VO is multiplied with n. So VON minus VO is multiplied with 1. So here, okay, then here n minus 1 whole square is there. So we have first opened the bracket. By opening this bracket, we get n square minus 2n plus 1. After opening this bracket, we have multiplied half a with this whole bracket. So here we get half a n square. When we multiplied half a with minus 2n, so this 2 and 2 get cancelled. We have only minus a n plus when we multiplied it by 1, we have half a. Then when we have opened this bracket, so in front of it minus sign is there. So that's why all the signs inside the bracket will change. All the negative sign will become positive and all the positive sign will become negative. Okay, and this negative become positive. Then we have cancelled all the terms which can be cancelled, like it is plus v naught n, here minus v naught n, plus half a n square minus half a n square. These terms will cancel and we have only v naught plus a n minus half a, that we have written here. Then to write it in standard form, what we have done, we have multiplied and divided 2 here. Here 2 and 2. You can see 2 is multiplied with an and divided. Then here half a and here half a we have taken as common and taken it out. So we have VO plus half a in bracket 2n minus 1. So like this we have got the final equation. So this is the value of the distance travelled in nth second, and it is very important because in numericals many times you have to use this, so keep that also in your mind. Okay, with the 3 equations of motion, now this fourth one is also should be by hearted by you all. Okay, this equation is V naught plus a upon 2 in bracket 2n minus 1. After that a new term is there, that is reaction time. What is a reaction time? The time which a person takes to observe, think and act over a particular situation is known as reaction time. For example, if you are driving a car, and suppose any obstacle suddenly comes in front of you, so your mind will take some time to see that, observe that and react according to that. So that time is called reaction time. Okay, it varies from situation to situation and individual to individual. For reaction time also we have one formula. Reaction time can be obtained from second equation of motion, S equals to ut plus half at square. Okay, that formula can be used to find out the reaction time. Here by one example it has been explained very easily that if you have to catch a ball, so how you can see what is your reaction time. Okay, suppose Someone throws ball at you, you have to catch the ball. So how you will find the reaction time? So here the ball will come down to you, okay, but here we will take the acceleration due to gravity as negative. Why? Because initially we have thrown the ball upward. So from second equation of motion, d equals to, d is the distance here, d equals to v naught t plus half at square. Okay, now we will put minus sign here. So it will become minus d equals to minus half 9.8. 9.8 is the gravitational acceleration, t square, or t equals to under root 2d upon 9.8 second. So this equation what we have got here, t equals to under root 2d upon 9.8 second, this is the formula for reaction time. Okay, here by putting the value of the distance you can find out the reaction time of any object. Here in this activity the distance is 0.5 centimeter. Okay, so for that the reaction time will be 0.23 seconds. Now the last topic of this chapter, it is relative velocity. Whenever any object is moving, two types of velocities are associated with that. One is absolute velocity and second one is relative velocity. Absolute velocity is simply called as velocity. So whatever we have studied about velocity is actually the absolute velocity. And when we are comparing the velocities of two moving objects, that time this is called as relative velocity, because here we are relating the velocity of one object to the velocity of other object. So if two objects or two bodies are moving together and we have to see the change in position of one object with respect to other moving object. Okay, in absolute velocity what happened? Only one object is moving and we will compare its situation or motion with other object which is stationary. But in case of relative velocity, both the objects are moving. That means the situation of one moving object is compared with the another moving objects. Like you can imagine that you and your friend both are riding a bicycle. Okay, and sometime what happen, sometime what, mostly it happens that sometime you will go ahead or sometime your friend will go ahead. To maintain the same speed continuously is very rare phenomena. Mostly what happen, either you or your friend are ahead of each other. So that time this type of velocity, change in velocity, is called relative velocity. Similarly, when two trains are moving parallelly, okay, two persons are running parallelly, two balls are moving, okay, together, so that time when we compare the velocities of both the moving objects, so that is called as relative velocity. Now consider we have two objects A and B which are moving uniformly in a straight line, okay, and their velocities are VA and VB respectively. So here you can see after time t their positions can be given by these equations. Okay, suppose object A has traveled for time t, so its position can be given as xat equals to xa0 plus va0, where xat is the position after time t, xa0 is the initial position, va is the velocity of object A, and t is the time for which it has traveled. Then xbt is the situation of object B after time t. xb0 is the situation of object B at time 0, that means at initial time. vb is the average velocity of object B, and time t is the travel time. Both the object has traveled for same time, but the distance traveled by them is not same. Why? Because their velocities are different. So now let's see what is the displacement from object A to object B. And for that what we will do? Xbt minus xat, distance of B minus distance of object A, and both the distances we have taken from one common point. Here in this figure you can see there is one origin O. From that origin we have calculated the distance of A and of B. Okay. And by putting the values of xbt and xat we got this equation. And what we have observed, that from point A velocity of point B appears like this, Vb minus Va. Okay, and why this thing is happening? Because the displacement of object A to object B changes by an amount Vb minus Va per unit time. Okay, so if the time is more, this distance or the change in velocity will be more. So when we have to find out the velocity of object B relative to object A, we will write it as Vb minus Va, and we have to write, when we have to write velocity of object A relative to object B, we will write it as Va minus Vb. So when we have to find out the relative velocity of object B, we will write Vb minus Va. And we have to find, when we have to find out the velocity of object A, relative velocity of object A with respect to B, then we will write it like this, Va minus Vb. Okay, and from above two equations it is clear that Vab equals to V minus Ba. That means when two objects, suppose A and B, two objects are there in relative motion, so their relative velocity will be equal but with a negative sign. Okay, now let's discuss relative velocity through graphs. So first we will see case 1. In case 1 we have two objects A and B moving with equal velocity. So Va equals to Vb, that means Vb minus Va, or Va minus Vb is 0. That means there is no relative velocity between them. Okay, Va equals to Vb. If both the velocities are same, so there is no relative velocity. So that time this type of graphs we will get. Okay. So here you can see this is x-axis, it is showing the position, and this is this is y-axis showing the position, and this is x-axis showing the time. So suppose object A starts from here and object B starts from here, and because they both are having same velocity and they both are moving in straight line, so we will get two parallel lines in graph. Okay, but in second case, if suppose Va is greater than Vb, so Va minus Vb will be positive, but Vb minus Va will be negative. So relative velocity of A will be positive, but relative velocity of B will be negative. So that time what happened? Suppose A starts moving from here and B starts moving from here. But because A is having more velocity, so it will cross B at some point and go ahead of B. Okay, here B is moving with a particular velocity, and because the velocity of A is more than B, so it will cross B and go ahead of it. Okay, and in third case, when suppose VA is less than VB, so that time VA minus VB will be negative. That means the relative velocity of A will be negative and relative velocity of B will be positive. So that time what happened? This type of situation we will get. A will go in its direction, but B will go like this. Okay, it will cross A. And this situation will come when A and B are moving in opposite direction. Okay, if A and B, they both are moving in same direction, so that time what happened? That time B will not cross A, but it will go far away from A. Suppose B has to go here like this, if it is having the same velocity. But when B is having more velocity than A, so it will not follow the parallel path. but it will rapidly go away from A like this. Okay, you can imagine a path here. This is the case when they both are moving in same direction. But when they both are moving in opposite direction, so B will cross A like this. Okay. So this is it for today's lecture. Next chapter we will start in next lecture. Okay. Till then, goodbye. Take care and do some productive work.